Hello, hello. This is such a beautiful opportunity here to talk about oneness and the importance of oneness experientially in our working with ourselves and our working with our clients and our students. And I can't express the impact of this work in my experience and experimentation with this work of oneness. We talk so much in the spiritual community, about oneness, and we talk about how we're all connected at the roots and that we're all coming from the same source and we're all source energy, But when we take that into our spiritual practice and find a way to connect the science of the mind with what we're doing with our clients, it makes it that much more easy to tap into those places where there's resistance. We're all willing, right, to be like, oh yeah, like I'm one, we're standing in a circle or around a bonfire, we're dancing, we're holding hands, and we feel this like oneness of energy. But in reality, in that moment, a lot of us are thinking we're one because we're surrounded by people that believe the same as us, right? That are in the same state of mind, that are in the same mood or life state, that feel similarly, right? It's really easy to feel into that oneness when we're surrounded by people that feel or look or are perceived as the same. But when it can be even that much more impactful and powerful is when we take into consideration that people like, let's say, Donald Trump, or that demon that you've been exercising from your clients or your students, that is also a part of us. And hold on with me 1 second because I'm going to explain this. To the mind, there is nothing outside. To the mind, there is only one. That's why really, really honing in, resonating with, accepting, and working with the oneness in the healing practice is so pivotal. To the mind, there is only one. What does that mean? So you already know that there's no past and there's no future to the mind, that there's only the present. You already know that to the mind, the experience of even the ancestors in the DNA is perceived as now trauma if it's triggered. But here's an interesting fact. To the mind, there is no one outside. There is no myself and them. To the mind, there is only I am. To the mind, there's only I am. So that's why when we're working with, let's say, guilt or resistance or blame, shame, when we're working with resentment, and we're projecting that onto other people as the cause of my shame, as the cause of my guilt, as the cause of my resentment. That to the mind, it has only ever always been my guilt, my shame, my resentment, my blame. So bringing it back around, same idea with the earth, same idea with beings on the earth, the beasts, the animals, same idea with the spirit realm, angels, devils, aliens. If you feel triggered by something, if your clients feel triggered by something, it means that the mind sees it as itself and is making it wrong. I'll say that one more time. If the mind feels emotionally triggered, if the emotional body feels triggered, it means that on the subconscious level, the mind sees that that is what it's identifying as itself, right? Because it can't distinguish between itself and others. That's why surrender to the oneness is so incredibly important. Let's bring Donald Trump into the mix. So how do we feel, right? And where are we triggered around him? What emotionally brings up? Is it the misogyny? Is it the narcissism? Is it the lies? What part of your experience of Trump is causing you to feel triggered? Because without a doubt, factually, Where that emotional trigger lies is where you feel resonant and identifying with that exact trigger as yourself. So let's say it's the misogyny. Let's say it's the treatment of women that's triggering you. Yeah? So if it's the treatment of women that's triggering you, then there's a part of yourself that believes that you treat women that way. There's a part of yourself that actually believes that women are that way that you're resisting. So you can see that an entire, full, and complete and absolute healing is literally impossible unless we include everyone in our experience. So Master Ko, who is one of my mentors, he is a healer and a pranic practitioner and a meditation instructor. And in every single meditation, he brings in a healing for everything. Listen closely. He brings in a healing for everyone, everything, every being. The earth, the animals, the beasts, the friends, the people you're angry at, the people you hate. He brings in for all spiritual beings in the upper worlds and the lower worlds, as he calls it. And the reason why this is so empowering, impactful, is because if you can connect, if you can envision, if you can see those aspects of the divine, then they're part of you. So when we see and we send healing to the lower worlds, we're literally sending healing to the lower worlds that exist within our own psyche. Yeah? Hey, Kaleo, great to see you. So bringing it back around. Imagine the earth, yeah? Imagine what's going on with the earth right now. The fires. The illusion of duality, yeah? Imagine everything that's going on in the earth. Some of you are focusing on different things. Some of you are focusing on the garbage, the trash, the pollution. Imagine the thing in the earth, in the world, that feels the most triggering to you. Is it the conflict? Is it the conflict between beings? Is it the mistreatment of animals? Is it the unfairness between socioeconomic status? What is it? What is it in the world that just triggers you, that just makes you mad, or that saddens you? I want you to imagine that energy, okay? Feel into that energy. What does it feel like? Now I want you to create a parameter around that energy with your mind. To the point where the energy that is triggering you becomes its own entity. So you can see the parameters and then you see, holy shit, that's an entity. That's like an identity. And now I want you to own that to your mind, that is you. That you identify with that on some level. So you can say, I own that I identify as that and that I've created that energy. That is my energy, because you are all things. I release that it's wrong. That's a big one. We're not saying it feels right. We're not saying I release that it feels wrong, right? We're just releasing that it's universally wrong. I release that it's wrong that I created this energy. I release my guilt around that. I release my shame around that. I release my blaming myself. I release needing to punish myself for that. I release this resistance. Some of you are feeling resistance and an attachment to this. I release my attachment and my resistance. And this is important when I release all of the trauma associated with this entity, this energy. All of the trauma. And remember, you're not just thinking about yourself. That's the whole point. You're thinking about all of the trauma involved with all beings around this. You are healing the world when you heal yourself. I release all of the trauma around this energy. And imagine it going in a reverse cyclone or a reverse tornado from the crown of your head, like a white reverse tornado, up to where you consider to be the creator's space, like an imaginary space where the creator is, the light, if you will. So this energy is being pulled up this reverse tornado, this reverse cyclone up into the light where it dissolves, neutralizes, and transforms into pure positive energy. I release the trauma. Feel it breaking up from your cells, breaking up from the fragments in your energetic being, being pulled, cleansed, removed, and sent to the light. Good. I release the drama. I release the drama. Imagine the drama of this energy. The drama, that means all the stories that you've created in your head, all of those parts of you that want to push this away